Hey, Raiders fans. Welcome back to another deep dive into everything happening with our Las Vegas Raiders. Today, we're going to break down some of the most critical strategies for the upcoming NFL draft and talk about what could define the future of this team. Right now, the Raiders find themselves in a position with the number 2 overall pick, and if things go sideways against teams like the Eagles, Texans, Giants, or Chiefs, that pick could even turn into the number 1 overall selection. That scenario alone gives the front office an enormous responsibility to plan carefully. And I think it's time we talk about what an effective strategy should actually look like. Last season's draft plan left a lot of questions unanswered, and it's not just about the players themselves. Talent may be there, but when the coaching staff struggles to maximize it, it's hard to see results on the field. This is why having a clear, organized, and forward-thinking plan is essential. The first priority, if you hold that number 1 pick, has to be evaluating quarterbacks. In my opinion, the top option is Indiana's Fernando Mendoza. Mendoza brings a rare combination of leadership, mental toughness, and confidence that makes everyone around him better. He may not have the flashiest style, but the intangibles he offers are exactly what a young team in need of identity should be looking for. When he steps into the huddle, he commands attention and inspires belief in his teammates. His leadership is reminiscent of some of the NFL's best, and he has consistently shown he can perform under pressure, including leading Indiana to a Big Ten championship and demonstrating that he thrives in the most challenging moments. Pairing a quarterback like Mendoza with the right coaching staff could set the Raiders on a path to stability and growth, making him a clear candidate for the number 1 overall pick. Close behind Mendoza, I would consider Oregon's Dante Moore. Moore may not have the same perceived ceiling as Mendoza, but his floor is extremely reliable. He's a strong, intelligent passer who can handle high-pressure environments without being rattled. Moore has shown time and again that he can lead in adverse situations, such as wideout games that test a quarterback's composure and mental resilience. Watching him navigate these intense atmospheres demonstrates that he could handle the unique pressures of Las Vegas and the demands of a passionate Raiders fan base. Both Mendoza and Moore possess qualities that could make them franchise quarterbacks if paired with the right system and supporting cast. Beyond selecting a quarterback, there's also strategic flexibility in trading. If the Raiders opt to trade back from number 1 to number 2, they could still secure either Mendoza or Moore while acquiring additional draft capital. This approach allows the team to address multiple roster needs, stockpile talent, and maintain flexibility for the future. Trading back could help shore up weak spots along the offensive line, defensive secondary, and skill positions while still positioning the team to grab a top quarterback. It's about maximizing resources and thinking beyond a single draft pick. The NFL is a league where smart maneuvering can define franchises for years, and having the foresight to balance immediate impact with long-term growth is crucial. Another potential avenue is exploring opportunities for quarterbacks who have already entered the league and could be acquired via trade. One name that comes up is Cam Ward, who was drafted highly but has struggled with surrounding talent in his current situation. Despite his challenges, Ward has shown flashes of elite potential and could thrive if placed in a system designed to utilize his strengths. Acquiring a quarterback like Ward, especially in combination with trading back or shoring up other positions, could provide the Raiders with a unique path to rebuild while still addressing critical roster needs. The concept here is to layer options strategically, combining high-upside young talent with shrewd draft or trade decisions to accelerate the team's competitiveness. Of course, none of this happens without considering the future coaching staff. Whoever steps in as the new head coach must align with the quarterback plan. A great head coach paired with the right quarterback can change the trajectory of the franchise, so these decisions are interconnected. If the coaching staff believes in a certain player, supporting that choice and ensuring the roster around them is structured for success is paramount. Building a franchise is about creating the right ecosystem where talent can flourish. It's not just about drafting a player and hoping they succeed. It's about designing a system where they are given every chance to reach their potential. With all that in mind, the Raiders have several pathways they could pursue in this draft. Whether it's taking Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore with the first pick, trading back to maximize draft capital, or even exploring trade opportunities for quarterbacks like Cam Ward, the ultimate goal must be to create a competitive, sustainable roster. The team has plenty of holes, but a calculated and multi-layered approach could turn those challenges into opportunities. It's about understanding the bigger picture and not being forced to act solely based on immediate needs or outside pressure. The NFL Draft is more than just a single event. It's the foundation for the next several seasons, and the Raiders have a chance to set themselves up for success in ways that go beyond what fans might immediately see on game day. Now, if you're thinking about how this all fits together, consider this. The Raiders' key to success is balance. Balancing a young quarterback with veteran leadership, balancing draft picks with immediate impact players, and balancing short-term needs with long-term growth. By doing so, the team not only positions itself to win games, but also builds a culture of accountability, resilience, and excellence. This culture is critical, especially in Las Vegas, where expectations are high and every decision is scrutinized. The ideal plan integrates talent evaluation, strategic trades, and coaching alignment to ensure the franchise moves forward cohesively. In terms of draft philosophy, it's clear that the Raiders cannot afford to be reactive. They must be proactive. This means identifying the players who fit both the system and culture, executing trades that maximize resources, and ensuring the coaching staff is fully on board with every critical decision. Quarterbacks like Mendoza and Moore are central to that strategy, but they are part of a larger framework that includes line play, defensive strategy, and depth across all positions. Success in the NFL Draft comes from connecting all these elements, understanding the nuances of the team's current roster, and anticipating how each pick influences the next. Ultimately, this is about building a foundation for sustainable success. The Raiders have a unique opportunity with their draft position and roster situation to make bold, intelligent moves. By combining careful evaluation of quarterback talent, strategic trade considerations, and alignment with the coaching staff, the team can address multiple needs at once. It's about creating a roadmap where every decision compounds to strengthen the roster, build leadership, and enhance the team's competitive edge. Fans want to see results on the field, but the key to achieving that is meticulous planning behind the scenes. Now, let's continue exploring the Raiders' draft strategy, because the story doesn't end with quarterbacks. While the first overall pick is naturally a quarterback conversation, the bigger picture includes building around that player to ensure long-term success. The Raiders need a system that prioritizes both immediate competitiveness and sustainable growth, and that means thinking beyond just one pick. After selecting a quarterback, whether it's Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore, the focus has to shift toward constructing a strong offensive line, securing dynamic skill players, and shoring up a defense that has been inconsistent for far too long. The beauty of trading back, as we discussed, is that it opens the door to multiple picks that can directly fill these gaps while still keeping a top-tier quarterback in hand. Let's talk offensive line first. The Raiders' offensive line has been a chronic concern, and no quarterback, no matter how talented, will thrive without proper protection. This means targeting linemen with high potential, versatility, and the mental toughness to handle a high-pressure environment in Las Vegas. It's not enough to grab the biggest names available. The focus must be on players who fit the Raiders' scheme and can contribute immediately. Investing in the offensive line early ensures that whoever the quarterback is, whether it's Mendoza, Moore, or even a trade acquisition like Cam Ward, they will have the time to make plays and develop confidence in the pocket. Depth across the line is equally critical, as injuries are inevitable over a long NFL season, and having capable backups is a major factor in sustaining performance. Next, the skill positions are where the Raiders can generate explosive potential. Wide receivers and tight ends who can stretch the field, create mismatches, and consistently win one-on-one battles are essential. Pairing these players with a quarterback who can read defenses and make high-level decisions quickly maximizes both their individual talents and the team's overall offensive efficiency. Running backs, while sometimes overlooked in draft strategy, are also a critical piece. The Raiders need a dynamic, versatile back who can complement the passing game and maintain balance in offensive play calling. The synergy between quarterback, offensive line, and skill players cannot be overstated. It's the foundation upon which the team's identity will be built for years to come. Turning to defense. This is an area that requires strategic investment in both top-end talent and depth. The Raiders' defensive front has potential, but gaps in the secondary and linebacker core have been exposed in critical moments. Drafting players who bring both athleticism and football intelligence is vital. The team needs defenders who can read plays, communicate effectively, and execute consistently under pressure. High-character players who lead by example are just as important as raw talent because they help instill accountability throughout the locker room. Depth is particularly crucial on defense, as rotational players allow starters to stay fresh while maintaining a high level of performance throughout the season. Another interesting avenue is to consider players who might be available later in the first round or early in the second, who possess untapped potential but require the right development environment. This is where the Raiders' coaching staff comes into play. A coach with a clear vision for player development and a system tailored to the strengths of these athletes can transform a late first-round pick into a cornerstone of the team. It's about identifying diamonds in the rough, evaluating their fit within the system, and committing to developing them over time. This dual approach of targeting immediate impact players and high-upside developmental prospects allows the Raiders to balance short-term competitiveness with long-term sustainability. Let's not forget special teams, which often gets overlooked but can swing close games. Investing draft capital in a reliable kicker, punter, and potentially a return specialist may not seem glamorous, but it's critical for field position and scoring opportunities. Special teams can directly influence win-loss outcomes, particularly in tight contests where every yard and every point matters. A complete approach to building a roster acknowledges that championships are won not just by offensive stars or defensive heroes, but by teams that execute in all three phases of the game. Now, considering trades again, the Raiders should remain open to creative opportunities. Whether it's moving up or down in the draft, acquiring additional picks, or exploring potential quarterback trades, flexibility is key. For instance, if a team is desperate to move up to grab a quarterback or a high-profile prospect, the Raiders could leverage that situation to acquire multiple assets in return. This strategy allows them to address several roster needs simultaneously while keeping their top choice a quarterback or acquiring an experienced player who can step in immediately. The NFL is about timing and positioning, and being proactive in trade negotiations can have ripple effects for years. One of the most exciting possibilities is layering these moves into a comprehensive, long-term plan. Imagine selecting Mendoza or Moore, strengthening the offensive line, adding elite skill players, and bolstering the defense, all while strategically acquiring additional picks through trades. This is the type of draft strategy that doesn't just react to short-term pressures, but proactively builds a foundation for sustained success. The Raiders can create a team identity defined by resilience, intelligence, and adaptability. Every pick becomes a piece of a larger puzzle, and each decision compounds in value when executed with foresight. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The league woke up to a shockwave of whispers after reports emerged claiming a blockbuster trade between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs had been confirmed behind closed doors. No official statements have surfaced, but insiders insist that something seismic is brewing. The supposed mastermind? Raiders owner Mark Davis, whose latest move is being described as nothing short of stunning. According to voices echoing through front offices and anonymous league corridors, Davis initiated direct talks with Kansas City executives in what many are calling an unprecedented moment between two fierce division rivals. The notion alone has set social media ablaze. The Raiders and Chiefs trading? It's the kind of headline that feels too wild to be true, yet too loud to ignore. Rumors suggest the discussions escalated rapidly, with Davis personally pushing for what sources hint is a franchise-altering adjustment. The Chiefs, known for their tight-lipped operations, have remained silent, fueling speculation that negotiations may be far deeper than anyone expected. Some insiders claim both sides have already exchanged preliminary paperwork, while others believe the supposed agreement is still wrapped in layers of secrecy. No names have been officially tied to the alleged deal, but that hasn't stopped fans from spinning their own theories. From high-profile playmakers to rising young talents, nearly every possibility has been tossed into the swirling storm of speculation. One executive, speaking off the record, described the atmosphere around the rumored move as the kind of tension you feel before a thunderclap. What makes the buzz even louder is Davis's reputation for boldness. Whether it's coaching decisions, roster overhauls, or surprise personnel shifts, the Raiders' owner has never shied away from shaking the NFL landscape. If these whispers carry any truth, this could be the moment he stamps his legacy with a move no one saw coming. For now, the league waits, fans refresh their feeds, and executives pretend not to listen to the noise. But the noise only grows louder. Something is happening, or maybe nothing at all. And that's exactly why everyone is talking. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.